Good evening. And I know it's Tuesday, but welcome to Wind Down Wednesdays with Vitamin C. I'm actually doing my show tonight because I'll be unavailable on tomorrow, but I will air this live on tomorrow as well for those that are not able to tune in tonight. But tonight, the topic is going to be we're talking about red flags and do not ignore them. And tonight with me, I have a guest, Cece.
Hey.
Say hey to the people.
Hey y'all, how you doing?
All right, tonight she's going to be sharing her story, her personal story, about how she ignored red flags. All right, and before we get started, I'm going to just give y'all the definition of red flags. What are red flags? Red flags. Hear a lot of feedback. Red flags are things that make you feel uneasy and hurt. Lying, cheating, being mean on purpose, behaviors that are intentional, being manipulative, being, characteristics of a narcissist, um, and their character. Now, flaws are correctable with communication, things that may be aware of, but is happy to change for the better. But tonight, we're not going to talk about flaws. We're going to talk about red flags. So I'm going to jump right on into it.
Please do.
All right. So, Tanisha, Miss CC. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get started and ask you a few questions, and then I'm gonna let you allow you to share your story. So, what were some red flags that you saw in the beginning that you recognized but overlooked?
Lies. Lies. Lies that I kind of knew that was lies, but I I really looked over them. I really did. Lies, the way the person move around when you get to a point, where you ask questions and you know the answer. But on top of that, it's just the lies. That's the first thing. Lies.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. So you recognized you knew he was lying. Did you
Mm-hmm.
confront? Did you confront him about the lies, or you just waited a while and
I
until
waited.
you waited? Okay,
Yeah, I waited.
you waited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I waited to see how far. Because I'm the type of person, you can tell me 100 lies. I can go back to the 56th lie and remember what you said. So if you say it again, or if I ask you the question again and you say a different answer, I can go back and say, "Oh, well, you said this at first." Say it again, or if I ask.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Okay, so the gentleman that you was seeing, how long were you seeing that person?
I've been knowing him for 13 years, but been seeing him significantly for about 5 years. About 5 years. Yeah. 5 years.
5 years. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been knowing him for 13 years, and y'all was dating or seeing each other for five,
Five.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Siobhan said, ignoring the lies is lying to yourself. Boy, we all been there. That's true.
Oh yeah.
Because if you,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
that is true. Mm-hmm. That is so true. And I ignored them. I ignored them until I started investigating. But we'll get into that in in a minute.
Right. Yeah. See, for me, when I know someone is lying to me,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's hard for me just to stay quiet. It's just I don't know. It's just something that it just burns my soul when a person lied to me. So it's kind of hard to not say something. I'd be quick to speak on it, like, oh, yeah, I remember you said this. Now, I'm gonna call you out on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I know some people might just wait because they want to just let the stuff build up so they can just expose a person about, a list of things that they lied about,
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. So okay, so I know you said the line. You using one, that was one of the red flags was lying. What was some
Yeah.
other red flags that you saw but ignored?
Okay, so when you get home, can't answer the phone, can't call you, you can't call him, can't never go into the house, to his house. Um, it's only a certain time of day that you can't speak to him, like if it's work or if he come over your house. Um, certain times, like on the weekends, you know, you won't hear from him, but y'all talk all day during the day. Or, sometime at night you can talk to him, but he's upstairs in the bedroom, or I mean upstairs in another room or something like that. So, it was things like that. Some other examples was uh okay, when you go out in public and things like that, you only go to certain, which we didn't. We was out in public, all the time at first.
Right.
Um and basically, I mean, that's it. I mean, certain times of night you can't talk to them. When you get home, you really can't talk. And we'll get into that too, because I have some, things that were said to me to the point where it threw up the red flag. I mean, it threw up the red flags on my end. Um, and I started digging into it because, like I said, we'll get into that later as well when I start telling my story.
Right. Okay.
Y'all,
So
it's been real. I'm gonna tell y'all this. This story right here is going to help someone. And I know a couple of people that's probably in this situation right now. And you know what I'm saying? And I just want to help the people out. It was I've been through hell for the past, I'm going to say past 2 years. 2 years, 2 or 3 years. I've been through hell. But I'm so humble and so big hearted. I don't know. I guess I ignored everything. And I'm gonna get to that point too. To let y'all know what to step back from, or to start asking questions, because believe me, when you start asking a man too many questions, he will step the fuck back. Excuse my language, because it makes me mad of what I put myself through and what I've gone through and what I have allowed. But like I said, I have to get, because 2025 is going to be a whole nother me. I mean, I have to get this off my chest. And, you know, but we'll get into that too. So I got all night.
I understand. So yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
thing about it, you know, Cece wanted to tell her story because it's something she wanted to get off her chest, something to release so she can, saying, birth new things, good things, positive things. And hopefully her story will help some other young lady or some woman that's dealing with this right now. That's the purpose also of her telling her story, sharing her story, is to help someone so they, will, have a change of heart and have the courage to move on, and choose better for
And
themselves.
I will
So,
also at
see,
the
oh,
end,
go ahead.
I was also at the end, would be given the initials. So so you all can stay away from the person. I told you, I'm getting on here. I'm getting it out. I'm gonna say everything, but it will just be initials. That's it.
Right. Because as I
They can put
stated,
the rest of it.
okay, because
Hmm.
like I told you, you don't have to, say name and all
Yeah.
that, so it's not necessary, but that's totally at your discretion, whatever you choose to do. Um,
Yeah.
So he couldn't answer at a certain time. He couldn't call you back. He was unavailable. So, see, women, that's why I'm gonna tell you this. That's why it's good to at the beginning to vet. Ask those
Mhm.
questions that you need to ask so you know. I mean, just be open and honest. Ask them
Mhm.
whatever you want to ask.
Right.
So let me ask you, did you ask, was he in a relationship? Was he engaged, or did he have a wife at home?
I knew he was married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you knew.
I knew.
Okay. You just
Mhm.
decided to okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I knew he was
So you
married.
so you it wasn't a question about like why he not answering the phone and this and that. You already knew up front,
I
right?
knew. Mhm.
Okay. So he communicated that to you
But I'm gonna get
in
into
the
that as
beginning.
well because that's where the lies come in. I'm gonna get into that as well. That's where the lies come in. Yeah, that's where the lies come in. So, um,
And Chanel, she asked a question. She said, "Why do we choose to believe what men say? Do we really want a relationship that bad?"
um, I chose to. You know what? I chose to get into that relationship. It's my fault. I mean, it is my fault. Like, you know, but my thing is that I guess I was vulnerable at the time
Mm-hmm.
because, I felt like I didn't have um anybody else. He was there for me. Anytime I called, he was there. Flat tire, get off of work, come help me. Um, wasn't feeling good, come over, take care of me. Um, if I needed something done, or if I needed a ride to work, or if my car was in the shop, boom, took me to work. You know, things like that kept me there. Because it was to the point where I, I guess I settled, and that's another thing, ladies. Don't settle. When I started to know my worth, um, that when it became a problem with him, to him. Um, one of the lies that he was telling, we have mutual friends. I was finding out a lot, but I just didn't say it at that present moment. I knew a lot. I just didn't say it. I just didn't confront him or anything like that. Um, it was mostly me. I mean, I shouldn't have gotten into that relationship or that situation. But when you fall in love with someone, um, you just can't help who you love. And it was my fault. I mean, some of it was my fault. It was because I let myself get into that situation. I did, and I stayed in it. So there you go. Yep.
All right. Well, I mean, well, at least you being honest and transparent that you
Hmm.
knew what you was getting into. You ended up falling in love. It's what not saying it's something that you're proud of. You know, what I'm saying dealing with a married man, but um,
But that's where the
you
lies
know,
come in.
there's
That's where the
there's
lies come in.
consequences. So
It
okay,
is.
where did the lie come in now? If you already knew he was married, what lie? What else did he lie about?
Well, he lied about them not being together. Um, I've been to the house. I spent the night at the house before.
Oh wow,
So yeah. Um,
it was yeah, he
uh,
was bold.
right. But that's why he was so good at what he did with the
Uh,
lies. Um, I mean, we've been out of town for 3, 4 days. He's been over my house. He used to spend the night over my house 3, 4, 5 times a week. Go to work from my house 3, 4, 5 times a week. I mean, that you know what I'm saying? So that's where it come into where okay, maybe they wasn't really together because that's what he told me. You know,
right.
they were just together for a child. the child or whatever. But I'm going to get into that too.
Right. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that was bold of him and a little disrespectful too to invite another woman to, him and his wife house. I feel like that was. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, what Marcia said. Wow, I've never been to any of their homes. That's dangerous. I agree because you don't know if she would have came home and she would have had every right to do whatever to you because you're in her home.
Yes, but
Like
see, that's where the lies come in, because um he said that they were separated, wasn't together. She stayed somewhere else or whatever, because at that time we were on the phone at night, or he was
yeah.
over my house 4 or 5 times per week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, he would call me or FaceTime me while he was, at home. And that was from at that time. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't Marcy, I don't know if they had an open relationship or what. I didn't even know what was going on, because I don't know. He had me thinking that they were not together, they were separated, that they were just still married for the child. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I believed what he said until later on. And we can get into that in a minute as well.
All right, so that's what it basically. You went over there because you was on the
The
um
impression that they were separated.
right because he had you
Mhm.
thinking that they were separated, so they wasn't living on the same. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? They out for a divorce, right? Okay.
right, right, right.
Wow.
Hmm.
So when did you notice, or how did you? So so when did things change when you realized that hey, this man really not separated?
So it was about a couple of years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago. Um, I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, so like I said earlier, this man was there for me. Um, 2 or 3 years ago, I was to go to have a hysterectomy. I had to have an emergency hysterectomy. So at that time, I had just started a job. I wasn't going to get any short-term disability or anything like that. But when I tell you, this man was right there from the time that I was going through what I was going through, because I'm gonna tell y'all too, I got lupus and I have fibromyalgia as well. So I he was there 2 years
Right.
ago. I decided, like, before I found out that I had fibroids or whatever, I tried to pull away. Okay, I I I met someone that from my past. We started dating and everything, and I tried to pull away. I did. But this man, and it's a touchy subject, but when I tell you, this man did everything, and it started to do everything in his power for me not to go on with someone else, it, he did it. To lie to, lying to me about someone passing away, a child passing away, a dad passing away. Um, he lied about that. And of course, the big heart that I have, I was trying to be there for him, you know. And when I had surgery, he was there, right there in the when he went to work, he came back to the hospital. I can remember it. It snowed that February. He was there the whole 3 days that I was in the hospital. He was there to take me home. He was there during the week. He would go pick up my mom on the weekend for my mom to stay with me. On the weekend, he take her home on Sundays, and he's there from Sunday through Saturday. Sometimes he'll stay there Saturday, or whatever. But it was I mean, that's when it started. 2 or 3 years ago, that's when it started.
So it
That's
seemed
when it
like,
started.
I mean, I understand you have either, I mean, other than building a bond with this man because you grew to know him, but you love him as well, where you actually fell in love with him, because of the things that he was doing, being there for you,
Mhm.
comfort you during the times when you may have not had no one there, by your side. He was there. Did he interfere with any other relationship, as far as friendship, family, anything like that? I mean, being that he's, because it's, yeah, like Candy
Mhm.
said, he was a textbook narcissist with his narcissistic ways and being manipulative. Did he manipulate you into, try to get you, like, divide your family or anything of that nature?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say with my kids. My kids didn't really. He was there for my kids, but my kids really didn't like him. Um, and it threw a wrench with me and my youngest daughter, like with all three of my kids. I'm gonna just gonna be truthful with all three of my kids. Um, to tell you the truth, yeah, they were doing stuff that they didn't have no business doing. Um, he did say that it will make them mad when they did disrespect me, but at the end of the day, where they were my kids. Yeah, he did throw a wrench in that. He did with not with family per se, but with my kids. I'm gonna say that. Be truthful with it with my kids. Yeah.
Right. And your kids
Um,
are very,
very important. He
yeah.
he did that because so I wouldn't have basically nobody. Because when I was trying to pull away and date, this man would I'm gonna do one night, for example. I went over to my friend guy's house. He called me one time and he was like, "Hey, do you want to go to the I'm gonna say casino?" I was like, "Yeah, I ain't doing nothing." At that point, um, the guy that I was seeing or whatever, he had called me. He was at the house. He was working at a he was working somewhere, and he said the alarm was going off. So I was like, okay, I was almost asleep. So he said, well, I got to go to the shop and check on that and go and meet the police and everything like that. Now I'm fixing to throw a wrench in this too, y'all, because y'all finna find out how he knew that I was on my way to go see somebody else. Okay, so when my friend called me, he was like, well, come on, you want to go to the casino? Sure, I do. I got myself up and I
Hmm.
was on my way over there. Dude was calling me 24/7, back to back, back to back, back to back. I parked my car at my friend guy's house, got in the car with him. We was on the freeway to the casino. He sent me a picture of my house, my car in front of the guy's house. I'm finna tell y'all this. That's when I learned this man had a GPS on me.
Wow.
He
So
had
he
a
was.
GPS on my car.
Mm.
And he also had the signal hack to the point where if I took the GPS off, um, that he would tap in. I don't know how let me tell y'all something. I learned he's a very good hacker. And I'm gonna let y'all know another story too, because if y'all are my Facebook friends, y'all experienced this with me 2 months ago of my Facebook page being hacked. But he's a very good hacker. He hacked my phone, so my phone was throwing out a signal as well. So he had GPS on my phone and he had a GPS on my car. Candy, yes. He didn't have an air tag on my car. He had an actual GPS from Amazon on my car.
A tracker.
a tracker. Reason being, I knew that when I the next day I went to my mom's job, she had someone look under my car, and it was a magnetic GPS that was underneath my car. So we took it off. He got off, pissed off, like really pissed off that I took it off. But that goes to say, hey, he it was a lot, y'all. It was a lot. I didn't know the man had a GPS on my car. But he said the reason why he did that is because I was moving different. I was pulling away from him,
Yeah, you know.
truthfully. I was pulling away from him, and I was like, well, you're married. To me, I'm single because, you know,
Hey,
he's married. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I was trying to pull away from him because I was starting to realize what my worth was. You know what I'm saying? At that time. This was 2 years ago. So he got really pissed off. And I'm gonna let y'all know this. Yeah, he got on. I did. I did. I sure did. So I like I said, those red flags and everything, like this is a touchy subject. It is for me. But I want to let y'all know, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And like I said, y'all please feel free to ask me questions. I'm gonna give y'all the truth or whatever, and I'm gonna tell y'all my faults and where I went wrong, and also what happened to me as well, because I'm not scared anymore. Back then I was, because the GPS thing, the showing up at my house, me waking up, you know what I'm saying, during that time, I had my doors locked and everything. He hacked into my Ring camera. It didn't go off. I woke up to this man sitting on the side of my bed, put a beer bottle on my lips, back and forth until I woke up.
Oh my God, that's so crazy. That's girl. That's like some Lifetime story stuff. Hold, pause, hold that thought. So, let me go back to Marcia's statement. She said, "Not letting your children disrespect you isn't throwing a wrench, in my opinion. So I'm lost on how that's a bad thing. Can you clarify what you? I don't think she was meaning that. I mean, because I don't believe any man will allow, will want anyone, a woman he's dating kids to disrespect him. So can you elaborate on what she's saying?
Okay,
I guess
so
she was breaking up
yeah,
the
the reason
relationship.
why I'm saying that, yeah, he was getting mad about, he said, um, he did not like if my child was disrespecting me. He said that, to the point to where that's on down the line as well. That is, um, I mean, it was disrespectful. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Any child I mean, most of our kids at some point will disrespect us. And that's what made him mad. You know what I'm saying? That's what made him mad, when my kids did disrespect me. What really made him mad at one point is when I had surgery and I was disrespected as well. But I look at it now that I should have handled it. I was trying to handle it myself, but I wasn't able to because I had just had surgery. Um, the thing about it is that what happened in front of my child. Um, at that point, when I was trying to leave, um, he told me that his father passed away. And then a week later, he told me that his son passed away. So me being me being big hearted and stuff like that, I kind of believed him until later on I started investigating.
So
Because
you try to show the grief,
yeah,
sorrow trip.
right.
I lost my.
So,
I need you to be here by my side.
and he woke up to he came to my house fucked up, and I excuse my French, y'all, but He came to my house messed up, drunk, crying, you know, saying, crying about his dad and everything, crying about his son and stuff like that. And I'm gonna tell you how I found out it was really a lie about everything, because that's public record. I don't care how much money. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't care how much money you have. You cannot get that kind of record sealed. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong or whatever. But it was to the point where I believed at first, but then on down the line, I was like, shit, this is a lie or whatever, because I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything on none of it. You know what I'm saying? I knew the birthday of both of them. I knew the first and last name and middle name of both of them. I couldn't find nothing. So that's the start of the big lies that he told to keep me. Um, I even baked a cake to take to the for him to take to the family. I don't know what the hell happened to that cake. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so you know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, he took the cake, like, he was really having a repast or anything like that. And
Lord
it
Jesus.
it is. And let me I will get to that point where of this year. It was so many lies this year, y'all. It was eye opening, and it was the lies. It just seemed like anytime that I was trying to pull away, somebody passed away, or if he needed me to feel sorry for him, somebody passed away, or whatever. But I got to the point where, like, this year, like, shit, nigga, I need to pull away from you too, cause hell, I'm gonna die too. You know what I'm saying? Cause it seemed like everybody that he loved that was around him started passing away. Why would
Wow.
you put death on someone that you supposedly love? And I'm gonna get to that point of this year too, but you can go ahead and ask a question.
So he lied about his father and his son passing away. Wow. I mean, that's
When
just,
I
I
was
mean,
trying to leave him, when I was trying to
yeah,
leave
I
him,
mean, but I'm just
yeah,
saying that's kind of, I mean, that, I mean, that's kind of psychotic to me, to lie about
very.
something that, extreme. I mean, to go to that extreme, you know,
Hmm.
to lie about your loved ones passing, somebody supposed to
Very.
be near to you, like, come on now.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: did he ever bring any type of physical harm to you or anyone close to you? Because he being so psychotic and crazy, he showing up in your house while you sleeping. I mean, that would have scared me to death. Like, I'm waking up and somebody sitting on the side of me. Did he ever any? I mean, if you want to answer this question, did he ever bring any physical harm to you? Did he ever put his hands on you?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Sure did. Yeah.
So
Um.
what steps did you take? Did you ever file a restraining order on this man? Did you ever do anything of that nature?
What was that again? I'm sorry.
Did you ever did you put a restraint? Did you take necessary steps as far as putting a restraining order on him? Restraining order?
Last year in June, I was badly jumped on, and I did. I did put a restraining order on him. Um. But I went back. I went back.
Yeah.
I did. I went
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And honest, a lot of women do. They go
Yeah.
back.
I
You
went
know.
back. To go to last year. Um. I went back. Yeah. Last year around that time. I mean, it was like June of last year. June 10th, 11th of last year. I I'm going ahead. I'm gonna go ahead on and go and get into this too. So he lied and told me that his wife was sick and she had cancer. And that she was up north with a family member, sister, or whatever. And I believed him. I was trying to show support or whatever because he said he was raising his child by himself and he didn't know what he was going to do. What is his, what is my advice? I was just giving him that advice and stuff like that. Basically, he had everybody around him believe in him. Um, Basically, he did. From the job to me to um it I'm tell y'all, this is a touchy subject or whatever, and I might shed a tear or two because what I went through or whatever, I should have known better, but you can't help who you love, and you try to give somebody a benefit of the doubt, the benefit of the doubt, and like I said, it was my fault mostly. But yeah, last year he lied to me. He said he was out of town. Actually, he said he was on the plane, coming back from a job, out of town, which he did go back and forth out of town for jobs. But this particular time, he said he was getting on the plane, but somebody that stayed. See, he didn't really know that I know people in his neighborhood, and people knew that what I was going through and was giving me information. I just didn't confront him about it because I was trying to get him to hang himself. But this particular day, um, she took a she took a picture and sent it to me. I was at work. I remember it. It was 7 o'clock at night. I was at work. I remember it to this day. She sent me a picture or whatever of him outside standing with his wife. But his wife is supposed to be sick in upstate. I confronted him about it. I confronted him about it. And when I confronted him about it, he threatened to come to my job. He said I wouldn't, I didn't even go back to my job because I went down there. Took my lunch and I went down there or whatever. By that time, they were in the house or whatever. But I went down there. I sure did. And I told him, I said, I got a picture of you and your wife standing outside with your daughter just playing. You know what I'm saying? You mowing the grass and she's outside, y'all having a conversation. I sent him the picture. Oh, he got pissed off. Very pissed off that I found out. So he he told me I wouldn't go to your job if I was you. So I called somebody at my job, say, hey, put my stuff up, lock my computer. I won't be able to come back to work. Now I'm a manager. I was a manager there or whatever. But we had other managers, so I was able to not go to work because we got off at 9 o'clock anyway. But at that present moment, I did not go back to work because we worked at the same job. We worked at the same job at the time, but he was threatening me not to go back to work. So I went back to my home. And at that point, when I was in the shower, he came in.
Wow.
I got out the shower, put my clothes on. We're arguing. And he almost, I'm going to say this, y'all. He almost killed me that night.
Oh my God.
It was June of last year. I had scratches on my face. I went into a lupus flare. I had red blotches on my face. I had scratches on my neck. I had scratches on my arm. My neck was red. You know what I'm saying? And it threw me into one because of the stress or whatever. But like I had bruises on my hips. I had bruises on my arm. I have pictures to this day or whatever of that night. Uh and and I went back, y'all. I went back after that day. I mean, it took me like 2 or 3 weeks, but I went back.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. The married men are the worst. Yeah, I mean it's crazy because I'm like, I mean, he doing all this. Why? He said, why go home? Mark, she went home because she didn't want to go to a job because she felt like he was going to do something. That's
And I
probably
didn't want
why.
it.
I mean,
It was
nobody
my
went home.
situation. It was my situation. I didn't want to bring nobody back. I mean, I didn't want to put nobody else in that situation. That's my situation. I'm the type of person that if I put myself in a situation, I don't want to bring nobody else in it or whatever. I went back to him after I put a restraining order on him. So it's
No, I
pretty
think
much
he's
my
talking about why
fault.
you went home. I think he was asking why you go back home when he told you, if I was you, I wouldn't go back to work. She was afraid of what he may do, that could, yeah, possibly hurt or harm others, So that's why she probably went home. Is that why?
Yeah, I went home because I didn't want anybody else in the situation. We worked at the same place, but he was off of work or whatever, and I didn't not want to bring that to my job. It wasn't nobody else's business. I
Oh yeah,
understand
he's
I'm
saying
more
you.
protected at work than at home, but at the time I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about
Yeah.
not to come to my job. So yes, I am more protected at work, but let me tell you this about some work, the work industry, especially me being a manager at a job. Some work, some places do not want drama on their for y'all. At the time, I wasn't in a situation to where I could afford to go back to, I mean, to lose a job because of somebody else's ignorance or me in the being in a situation. Oh, and elaborate on why going back to him, you can't help who you love. Some people can't. I can't explain that. I loved him or whatever, and every time he, every time that he apologized to me, I will go back, or he'll come to me and say, "Oh, somebody passed away," or "Oh, he this time, oh, my wife is sick," and this and that and other. He was there for me in anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yes, and like I said, it was part. It most of it was my fault because I went back. Yeah, I did.
They, yeah, they said stop blaming yourself. But let me ask you this: I understand that you loved him, and you can't. You keep saying I couldn't help who I love,
Mhm.
but what love got to do with it when you know that he was not the guy for you because of the things he done?
Mhm.
He did to you, showed you, manipulated, you.
Mhm.
Um,
Well,
why
I'm gonna
you
say
why
this.
you keep
At the
going back?
time,
Did you just feel a need to have someone, or did you just feel lonely at the time?
I didn't have anybody
But
else.
other than love, what kept you? Was it strongholds or, and you know what?
It was
Those
really a
soul ties,
stronghold. It was really a
those soul
stronghold.
ties.
It was really a stronghold. Um, it was a stronghold. He had a stronghold on me. I'm gonna sit up here and tell the truth. He had a strong hold on me. Yes, I have kids. I have three. My son is fixing to be 25. My daughter's gonna be 24, and I'm fixing to have a 21-year-old. Yes, I do. I have three kids. They're older. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was there for me. Um, and at the time, I felt like I didn't have anybody else. Oh yeah, and you know what I'm saying. And he wanted that. He wanted me to feel that way, and I did. I feel like I didn't have anybody else. I would call on. I'm gonna say, for instance, I would call on the guy that I was trying to talk to. I had a flat tire one time. Couldn't call nobody else. Guess who was there for me? He was. You know what I'm saying? A lot. It was a lot of other things, y'all. I mean, he was actually there for me. I can't explain. I really can't explain it. I can't. I don't have an explanation for that. To the point where you know it. It has something to do with the mind. It does. When the
So
person's there
by
for you so
mhm.
much or whatever, you actually ignore things that have been done to you, or um you ignore what that person have done to you or anything like that, because if you need something, that person will drop anything to come and help you out or be there for you. And that's it. And people probably was, I mean, I could probably call other people, but I didn't want to bother anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a grown ass woman or whatever. It's just like, I don't know. I just felt like I didn't have, wasn't nobody there for me. You know what I'm saying? But every time I had a problem, or every time that something went down or anything like that, he was there for me. I mean, it's just, you know, that's it.
Yeah, I think what it is, I think the thing about it is not that no one else was there for you. He manipulated you to think that he was the one that was always going to be
Going to
there
be
to
there.
capture
There
favor.
you go.
Which you actually had people um that was there for you and that you can call on that would have came at a drop of a dime, such as
Mm-hmm.
myself and others.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but she was so caught up into him and what he had done, and I think you just felt the need to be there for him when he,
Mm-hmm.
was, praying and that he was going through all this grief and agony and everything else. You couldn't see it for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what clicked, what I'm saying, in your mind and was
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, what, I done had enough. I'm done with this. I know I deserve better. What clicked?
All right, I'm gonna tell y'all. So this is what clicked. All right. So as this year started or whatever, it was a lot of stuff that went up. The lies started getting worse. Um, the lies were coming to the point where that it wasn't retractable. Tractable. I mean, he couldn't save himself from these lies. So this is what happened. He told me that his wife was getting worse. His wife was getting worse. That um she was in the last stages of everything. They was doing everything that they could do for her, but it wasn't looking good. Okay, so it's like, okay.
I can barely hear you.
Huh? Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened? I don't know what you heard or anything like that, but what happened? He was telling me that his wife was getting worse or whatever. Um, that the cancer was taking over and everything like that. So I was like, okay, all righty. Um, I was there for him when he needed someone to talk to and things like that. I When he said that, you know, I was being there for him. And then other thing about it was that and he said his wife was upstate. His wife wasn't here. In Arkansas. She was up in North Carolina or whatever, and that a family member or his sister was taking care of her. She was up there getting treated by nurses. She was up there with the doctors and nurses and stuff like that, was taking care of her and everything. And he was here taking care of his daughter with, the grandparents and things like that. So I was like, okay. So, and what he was telling me at the present moment was kind of believable, but still he was still lying, not knowing that I can find out anything at a given moment. I got tired because you're lying about someone that you're supposed to love or be in be married to. First of all, I started asking around, and everybody was like, "What you talking about? She's healthy. She's this and that and the other." So as the months went on, I started doing my research and everything like that. So I started pulling back, and I started back dating to the person that I really wanted to be with and really wanted to be with me. It was one day that I went out or whatever and spent the night and stuff like that. This man will go by the person's house and take pictures. Oh, you over there, and will text me all night long. Like I have text messages like 2 pages, 3 pages long of him cussing me out about going out or trying to be with someone else, or you know what I'm saying, that I was wrong for cheating on him. He told me this. But I was like, how am I cheating on you? And you're married. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want someone to myself. I don't want nobody that, you know what I'm saying, nothing that somebody else has shared. You're gonna leave me, and I'm going through what I'm going through. Yeah. Yep. I mean, yeah, I am. Because I want a relationship of my own. I don't want to nobody, I don't want to be this is the time that I was starting to feel that I was knowing my worth. You know what I'm saying? I'm worth more than this. I need to get away from him, and everything. And this is when I started to pull away again. You know what I'm saying? I deserve to be with someone that doesn't have nobody else or anything like that, because it was starting to get a little bit too much. He had people at the job thinking that, oh, okay, this was going on. And I was like, and I'm sitting back, holding my breath, like, okay, y'all really do believe this man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a great mind manipulator. He is great at what he does. Anything that comes out of his mouth, you can believe, because he has that straight face. He has the crime behind it. He has everything behind it. Everything behind it. Like he had me thinking stuff, you know. So
Yeah.
it was like, yeah. I mean,
What a mastermind manipulator does. He also manipulated into you working under him or at the same place of employment where he was, so he could basically watch you and know where you at all times.
right.
Did you not realize that?
Yeah, I realized that. I realized that. I sure did. I realized that on the I realized that. I did. I sure did. I sure
But
did.
you kept accepting job offers that he was
Well, it's
sending to
only
you.
it's only okay, so we worked at one place together. We worked at one place together, and then I left that place and went to another. Now I did it. Now, yes, I did when he got me the job. No, well, sent recommended me for the job. He he put in a recommendation for me or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
when I got the email and everything like that, yes, I did accept the job. It took me 2 months or whatever, but I did accept the job. I did accept the job because I accepted it for me because it was not under him, nowhere near him. I was going to be working from home. It was the better than what I was getting then or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I did accept a job that he was working at. I sure did. And then after that, I mean, I got let go, but you know what I'm saying? it was for the better. It was for the best. You know what I'm saying? It's like it wasn't a uh, I can't find the words for it, but you know, I'm glad that I'm not at that job anymore. I'm glad I am. It was for the best
Yeah, I
and
mean, it was a
everything.
blessing in disguise,
It was a
but it's still,
blessing in disguise. Yeah.
it's just still him, you know, trying to, having a sense of control. I mean, because he basically he did take you away from your family, your friends, even your kids. You know, then he tried to, have you working, at these jobs that he wanted you to be at. You know what I'm saying? And not
Mm-hmm.
just for you to excel, is because he wanted to just know where you was at. He was very manipulative. He a narcissist, because
Mm-hmm.
the characteristics that they do, they want to take you away from your family and friends, and make it seem like they just the only person there for you. You the only one to count on. It
Yeah.
just, I mean, and I know you was in love and you was blind to see some of that, and I mean,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I'm so thankful, that you're currently not in that situation now, because,
Yeah.
as I told you, I say he's blocking your blessings. And until you let that
Yeah.
thing go, I'm saying, you're not going to progress to more. But I know you
Yeah.
had to pray, that
I
God
did.
helped you to release those soul ties, because that's what really kept keeping you coming back. It was those soul ties. Soul ties
Yeah.
is a powerful thing, y'all. Believe it or not,
It
I believe in.
is. It is.
So you gotta be careful who you lay yourself down with, because I know,
It's
um,
the it's a cycle or whatever. When you lay down with someone or whatever, they're putting their energy in you. They're putting whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's a cycle. And some people say, "Oh, I don't believe that." Yeah. As because this person was like, "Oh, God this, God that." Putting on Facebook, well, I'm blessed and this and that and the other. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? And throwing, putting stuff out there, I'm blessed with this, I'm blessed with that. God don't make any mistakes and this and that and the other. And, you know, um, and I'm gonna go ahead and get into the point where I finally, like, not finally, but it was to the point where it was June, what, May, June. Yeah, it was this year. It was like 4 or 5 months ago or whatever. That I was trying to move on again or whatever. We hadn't talked for about 3 4 weeks, a month or two. Um, and he texts me. I went out again, whatever, trying to win back. Like I said, the other guy that I was seeing or whatever, I did tell him about him or whatever. And, like I said, he knew him and knew about him. And I did not keep nothing away from him because I don't like to be blindsided and I didn't want to be him to be blindsided. But I told him, yeah, everything was um done between me and him. You know what I'm saying? It was one day that I was taking the other guy to dinner or whatever. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting up there waiting and stuff like that. And I see this car go by or whatever. Now, I know the tag numbers of all the cars. So I'm looking in my rearview mirror and I looked around. I said, oh, he is actually following me. So I get out of my parking space and I go and and go around to him and I'm like, and I roll down my window. I said, "Are you following me?" He said, "What?" I said, "Are you following me?" He said, "No, I'm not." And he
uh,
pulls off and I pull to a gas pump, and he pulls up beside me and said, "What you doing?" "What you mean what I'm doing? I'm meeting someone." What do you mean? Go on and do what you do. I am. So he pulls off, and I go and get back in my parking space, and like the guy that I was talking to, he's going to work, so I'm just meeting him so I can give him his food.
Mm-hmm.
I get in the car with him, and we in there for like 10 minutes, and this man comes knock on the door while I'm in the car talking to my supposed to be boyfriend. He comes knock on the door, knock on the window, and say, "This is what we doing." Like, and then gonna say, "You better get to your house, to the house before I get there." Like, we stay together. Like, I mean, like, really, like, we stay together. Like, your name is on my lease.
But let me ask you this: were you
Mm-hmm.
still dealing with him? Because
No,
were you
not
still dealing with
not.
him at the time?
Mm-mm. No, no.
So you had cut it off.
I had cut it
How
off.
long? How
Now the
long
only
was it?
thing.
How long was it between the him? You cut him off and then
Mhm.
started seeing ex from the past. Like how long was it in between?
I ain't gonna lie. It's about like time we text each other was like a week or two. I can't remember, but it's like a week or two. Yeah, yeah.
So do you think that was fair to the new guy because you knew you had this psycho, and a lot of and I'm not, because I know a lot of times women may not think about it, but sometimes we put a man in a position
But no,
that
no,
we
no.
don't
I
want
did not. I did not. I did not
because
blindside him. He
mhm.
asked me the question, and I said I haven't talked to him in about a couple of weeks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And everything is cool, and I haven't, didn't. So at that time, because that was like in the summertime or whatever. Um, at that time, I thought everything was done. The things that were said and everything. I thought everything was done, and but then he popped up because it's something I don't know what happened, but he said that a 10-mile radius um on my phone, like if I be in a certain place in Southwest in a 10-mile radius or whatever, or if I go to see someone or whatever, he can actually know where I'm at. I don't know. That's what he was telling me. He still had a GPS somewhere. It wasn't on my car. It was somewhere. He had a GPS somewhere. I don't know, but he said it's the antenna on. I really don't know. I don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like the antenna on my car or something that he can get into, that he got it locked in 10-mile radius and of where the guy used to stay or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But like I said, he knocked on the window, and I was like, okay. I stayed on the phone with him until he went to work and stuff, with the guy until he went to work and stuff like that. So I called my brothers or whatever, to come over there and see, you know, but when I pulled up to my apartment, I'm sitting up here like looking around. I didn't see anything. Then when I got out of my car, you know how you hear footsteps and stuff like that. And I turn around, I see him again. So I had to call the police that night. I had to do that or whatever and actually threaten him. And so he can leave me the hell alone and everything. And yeah, I couldn't sleep for a couple of nights or whatever, but you know, I just don't know. I really don't know.
But do you think
I
2 weeks was really too soon to be putting another man into, because my thing is, you knew that how this man is. He's psycho. He popping up. He got a tracker.
Mhm.
This and that. Do you think it was too soon to be seeing someone and maybe even, putting them, what I'm saying, into harm's way or jeopardizing, saying something
I wasn't
happening
trying to put the
between the
person in
two?
the harm's way. It's just the things that were said and things like that. I thought it was done. I really did think it was done. So I wasn't trying to put nobody in harm's way. I did tell them about it and stuff like that, you know. But that last time, what I'm saying, it was I had to I had to stop talking to the other guy until, for at least about 2, 3 months till I knew that till I thought that it was over with.
So
You know
let
what
me
I'm
ask you
saying?
this. Right. So how did you end it? So what happened and how did you end it with this guy?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what
And then I
happened.
mean what and then did he do anything else after that? Like far as,
Yeah.
coming over to the window while you're in the car with the guy and did he do anything else? I mean, well, how did you end it and have you seen him or heard from him since?
All right, so this is how it ended. Um, I had started that new job or whatever, and at the time, of course, I'll see him from time to time and everything like that. I was training for it. I knew what I was up against or whatever. You know, I knew what I was up against. I knew I was going to see him from time to time, but I wasn't working under him. I knew after 4 weeks, I was going home to work from home, and that was it. So what happened is that after like 3 or 4 weeks, like a month or so, whatever, he he called me, he texted me or whatever. This is when the Facebook stuff happened and everything. After a whole month and everything, I thought everything was done and over with. I started seeing the other guy again. Um, it was the night. I mean, I had a uninterrupted night until 3 o'clock in the morning. My daughter texted me and said, "Mama, your Facebook page has been hacked." Like, okay. I went on there and that's when I saw everything. Then that's when, you text me, everybody was texting me like your Facebook page has been hacked. I had deleted one post. He went back and he posted it again or whatever. And I was like, really? So at that point, he started putting stuff on on my page saying, first person who responds to this, um, who to this post will get $500, and you know,
He started
he
giving
said,
out
he said,
money prizes.
right. So he
Lord.
said, I know the first post said again, I like effing over niggas and this and that and other. Then he
Eating
changed my and eating the D and this and that and
booty.
other. Then it was kind of funny to me. And then he changed my Facebook page to an Indian, I think it was in Arabian.
Yeah, girl.
Then this is what really pissed me off or whatever. You don't play with nobody's money. He
Right.
somehow hacked my phone and withdrew money from my bank account, put it on my Cash App, locked my Cash App card, changed I mean, about the situation because me and you was going back and forth all day. I was trying to send you my money on the card, and I mean, I couldn't do it because every time I put a request in or to send it to you, he would go in and change my pin on my Cash App card.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it
girl,
was
yeah.
finally when I picked up the phone, I said, "Look, if you don't stop fucking with my money, I'm gonna
Just
fuck you
give
up
me
on
my
sight."
money.
And I said, "That's real talk." So that's when he finally said that. That's when he finally let it go, and I was able to transfer that money to you. But he did. He transferred $800 out of my bank account and put it on my Cash App, y'all. And it was just like I was like, "What? Like, how in the world? Like, he's good at what he do. I'm gonna tell y'all this. He's good at what he does. Good at it. And he had me thinking that he could just take control of my life or whatever, and nobody. would believe him. You know, believe me that he did it. You know what I'm saying? Would nobody believe me? Nobody would um be there for me to, you know, nobody would believe me. Just say, for instance, he said he got so much pull and know so many people that would nobody, but he has manipulated everybody else too, even his wife. So, and I'm gonna get to that too. So that night that I went out on a date or whatever, that night, when he did all of that and everything, he sends me a text message at 5 something in the morning saying that she passed. He was talking about his wife. He told me his wife passed. Told me his wife passed. And I was like, wait, what, really? When did she pass and how? You know what I'm saying? So I know that a couple of days, like 3 days before, somebody else that was close to him passed away. So I was like, okay, so the person that, you know, saying your sister or whatever passed away, which she did, that was true. But
Right.
then 4 or 5 days later, your wife passed away. All of a sudden, when I'm still trying, every time I try to move on, someone passes away.
It's like he pulling you back, pulling you
And
back.
yeah, it's like he's pulling me back, like you got to be quicker than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this last time, you know, I played it. You know what I'm saying? I played it and I was like, oh wow, really? He cussed me. I mean, he was cussing me out. He showed up on my doorstep step drunk as I don't know what. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna play your game. So what I did, I played the game until I found out some information. So I contacted someone that I knew to find out some information for me. And I actually paid someone to take a picture or whatever. She could never get the picture of the wife and everything like that. So would, like I said, once again, it's public record, right? Tell him how he had you in the kitchen cooking those cakes. Okay, so y'all, okay, so I felt so bad, and I'm gonna let you know this. And it's funny now, but
Martha.
I actually did cook a cake for the family, and I had him come pick it up. I don't know who the hell ate them cakes and where they ended up. They could have ended up in my garbage can around the corner, but I did. I did cook
Like,
them cakes for the family, for the repast or the whatever. But so as time went on or whatever, you know what I'm saying, like I said, I paid someone to go and take a picture of the wife, you know what I'm saying, to get him caught up in lies. They could never catch the lady. So this is what I did, um, after that, I got tired of everything or whatever. We stopped talking, and everything. So it was like a month or two, it's probably a month or two after we stopped talking and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what, you did me so bad and did me so wrong. I did this. So the person that I, paid to take the picture, what I did, and this is how everything ended, y'all. And I felt that I needed to do this. I don't know. I mean, but I sent a certified letter to his wife. I did. I sent a certified letter to his wife. I don't know if she read it, but it had the text messages in there saying that she passed away. I had a picture in there of him in my bed, us on the trips together, him on my toilet. You know what I'm saying? Everything like that. I had all of that in there. Even when he told me that his father had passed away, I had that text message in there. I took pictures and I printed off everything. Not everything, because if I would have printed off everything, it would have been a damn book, But I did pinpoint other things just to let her know when your guy is out here. I don't know what he's telling her, but he's over my house 4 or 5 times a night. I mean, 4 or 5 times a week, spending the night. I don't know what he's telling you, boo, but you know what I'm saying? I wrote a letter. I put all those text messages printed off and stuff like that. And I had the lady who I paid to deliver it, hand deliver it to his wife. But when she hand delivered to his wife, she said she's healthy as an ox.
Wow.
So my thing is that, you know, y'all, I ever since that day, it's been about, I think, what, how long it's been, V? About 3 months now.
Yeah.
It's been about 2 or 3. It's been about 3 months now, and I feel so much better. And when I tell you, and I'm telling all the ladies or whatever, you know, yes, I went back 2 or 3 times because I felt like I didn't have nobody else there for me. And I felt like that. I guess I had to. I guess, you know, because he ruined the chances. I don't know. I'm not gonna say ruined the chances, but the other guy that I was committed to, or you know, that was really into me, and you know, I'm not gonna say he ruined the chances, but I have to rebuild their relationship, which I'm not rushing to do or whatever, but I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying, I just want to just let him know um that I did apologize to him. Now, one thing about it, I'm going to say when I'm wrong or whatever. And like I said, I did not blindside him in nothing. When I went back to him, when I had surgery, I told the other guy. When I had my surgery this time, in February, that's another time in February, I had surgery. I told him about that as well. So I didn't blindside the other guy at all. Um, but he has ruined my chances with the guy.
Right. You kept
Um,
going back and forth. He like this guy doing all this stuff, and you started taking him back. I'm here ready to be with you, single and free. You know what I'm saying?
but
And
but but but
insisting.
he really wasn't there to either. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
he was single though. Still, he want to
yeah, he was single though
attach to
still. Yeah,
nobody.
and I
He was
understand, and
single.
I understand that, you know, yeah. And I, like I told him, and I wrote him a letter, and I also told him in a text message, I do apologize about putting you in that situation. Now, I did apologize about that. Yes, I was wrong and everything. And I told him, you know, everything is, you know, done and over with and everything like that. And I do apologize for putting you in that situation. And I did do that because in the situation I was wrong or whatever for bringing him in. When I thought that everything was done and over with, and that I wasn't going back, you know what I'm saying? So yes, I did. I apologized to him, and I did do what I needed to do to tell him. Um, as far as that situation goes or whatever, yes, I did send a certified letter to his wife. I don't know if she even read it. Don't care. But I know
Going
that
nowhere. I said she ain't going nowhere.
she's not going in. Yeah, she's not going. I
Even if
don't
she
think she
did read
is.
it, she ain't going nowhere.
No, no. So, but I did my part or whatever. And um on top of that, you know, I felt better. And I'm gonna tell y'all something, ladies. I feel so much better to the point where I know that when when you finally realize your worth, and you get rid of negativity in your life, or you get rid of the person that's bringing you down and everything, and or you're being blinded about it. You're being blinded, and when you finally lift that veil over your eyes, or you finally take the sunglasses off so you can see clearly and everything, you feel so much better. Let me tell you something. Ever since I got rid of that, I've been blessed. I've been closer to my friends. I've been closer to my circle. My circle is small, but the people around me are so, they are, I mean, they're so supportive and everything. And when I tell you I've been blessed, I've been blessed. And God was not going to bless me in that situation or whatever.
Not at
And now
all.
that gotten rid of everything and everything like that, it's so much of a weight lifted off my shoulders, and it feel like I can breathe again. I can. Um, I can focus on me. Um, I got my kids, you know what I'm saying? We are back together. I mean, like this past Sunday, I posted on Facebook. This past weekend was my birthday weekend. Had a blast. The time of my life. I have not celebrated my birthday in 2 years. 2 or 3 years, because being with, crazy. You know what I'm saying? I nicknamed him crazy or whatever. But, you know, um, ever since that day that I dropped everything and I dropped him, these past 3 or 4 months have been a blessing to me. I mean, I feel so, I've gotten so far, ahead without that problem than me being in that situation and being weighted down, or someone telling you that this is not going to work, or someone telling you that, oh, you don't need to do this because you got to have this and everything like that. No, you just have to have faith within yourself to get rid of the negativity that's in your life, so God can be able, because God is not going to bless no mess, and that was a freaking mess that I was in.
Right, that's true. I'm not gonna bless you with nobody else's husband, and
Nobody else husband or nothing. And
mm-mm,
don't believe if a man says he's gonna leave his wife, y'all don't believe it, because
nine
it's
times
people to
hey,
people.
tell them,
Nine
hey,
times out of
holler at
10
me
he's
once
not.
it's final. Holler at me
Right.
once it's you know.
Once it's final, and then you have paperwork. And only thing about that is, it was so, the man, he was so sick. It made me sick to even look at him again, because how in the world are you going to wish death or say somebody else is dead that you're supposed to really love? And you could, this is the kicker. He
Just
came
low
back to
down.
me and said, he came back to me and said, I got something to explain to you. And I owe you an explanation. I need to apologize. This man told me that my wife is not dead, but she's dead to me.
Wow. I'm like, you
He
know
told me
what?
that she's dead to me because she's not in her right mind. She's in the last stages of cancer and everything, and she's not in her right mind. What is that to say? If you're saying that about your wife, what are you saying about me? Which I found out some things that he was saying about me or whatever. And I found out some things like early on or whatever that he was saying about me
Just
to other
low down.
people.
Whew.
But that's low down. That's the
Yeah.
lowest of the low, to sit up there, somebody that you supposed to be with for the rest of your life, and you're gonna sit out there and put them in the ground, including your dad, including your son, and everything like that. You're gonna put everybody in your ground, and a boss that he used to work for as well.
So at this point, are you healing? Are you,
Yeah.
just focusing on self?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am healing right now. Um, like I said earlier, I have more things to worry about than what I've gone through. I've learned from it. Believe
Mhm.
me, I have learned from this mistake.
And that's a
I
good.
am so relieved that I have gotten rid of the problem that I had in my life. My eyes are open. My eyes are open. I'm loving life as as like like everybody is saying, I am loving life at this present moment. TT been outside. Haven't been outside in 2 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 44 years old. My kids are grown. It's time for me to live for me, and it's time for me to enjoy life. I have a business that is growing day
Yes.
by day. I have been, when I tell you, God has opened up so many doors since I've got rid of the mess. Man, it is, I can cry right now.
Yeah, and I'm
And
so proud of you. I'm happy for you.
I can,
I-
let me tell y'all something. I got tears in my eyes right now because I ain't gonna say it was a waste, but 5 years of my life for nothing. You know what I'm saying? It, yeah. I am so, I am so proud of myself
Yeah, I
or
am too.
whatever for letting go and let God and stepping out on faith to do what I love. And I couldn't do it with him. I have supportive friends around me. Um, it's just, it feels so good. It feels good, y'all. And to the women out there, don't please don't ignore the red flags. Don't go back to something that broke you down. Don't do that. Don't go back to have the strength to leave someone that don't mean you any good, or don't feel like that you have to settle for less or settle for being someone's second and not their main or their first. And that's the reason that, and that's, if right now, don't come to me. Don't come at me. Don't come to me. Don't, if you're married, if you have a girlfriend, do not come to me. Because baby, I'm doing some investigation this time. I'm going to ask questions from, and if you don't answer correctly, then I'm gonna have to dismiss you, because I'm not going to go back down this road again.
Right.
It's too stressful. Like I said, I do have lupus, and I do have and it's mixed up with fibromyalgia, and all of that. I don't have time for it. I'm finna live my life. I have a business that's growing or whatever, and I don't have time for it. You know, if you're not coming in my life to be supportive and be with me and me only, then I don't need nothing that you have. Nothing that you have. I don't need it. I don't need the stress. I don't need anything. But at this present moment, E A, thank you for putting me through that. Cause now I know my worth, and I know what not to get into. I know what to look for in a man. I know not to go back to where I was at the beginning of this year or whatever. And I am blessed at this present moment. As soon as I got rid of that, as soon as I got rid of you, I've been blessed. And can't nobody, you could put a Facebook post up there talking about, you know what I'm saying, God don't bless them, man. You can put a Facebook post on there saying that the um the disconnect is real, or this and that and the other. You can put whatever you want to on Facebook or Instagram, baby, to try to get back with you. But let me tell you something. The lies in between them 72 teeth that you got in your damn mouth has caught up with you. And I want everybody to know that watch out for this man. He can lie to you, and he can tell 72 lies between them 72 gaps in his damn fucking teeth. But I'm so glad that I got rid of it, and I have a smile on my face, and I feel so good. I
Amen.
feel so much better. And ladies, do not fall for anybody that is going to sit up there and lie to you over and over again, especially if they lie to about somebody that they supposed to love or have something to do with the birth of them. I can't understand that. You put somebody in the ground, but and they still living. That is the utmost disrespectful thing that I have ever seen in my life and ever heard of. You see shit like that on Tubi movies.
Yeah, it's sad.
Not in real life. And it's sad as hell. It is. It's sad as hell. And but let me tell you something. EA. Baby, I'm blessed. And I can actually say that because I'm God's child. You couldn't break me down, baby, because I'm God's child. And God was with me, but he was waiting on me to get rid of the negativity that was in my life. And once I got rid of that, baby, I'm finna climb this mountain. And when I get to the top, I'm gonna put that flag up there and say, hey, I made it. And I'm not gonna look back down. I might have slipped going up that mountain, but baby, I stand 10 toes down with my 10 fingers up. 10 toes down because I'm grounded. 10 fingers up because I'm going to receive my blessings, baby, and it's going to be without you. And I am so glad that I got rid of you. So
Amen.
glad.
And ladies,
So glad.
well, ladies and gents, y'all go check out Golden Hands Catering
Yes.
Memorial LLC. You can purchase buy a cake, a pie, food. She meal prep. Also, you can purchase her cookbook, which is was it $15?
Yes, it's $15 right now.
$15.
And I got some
So,
on hand. So if you want to purchase one, then yes, I got some on hand.
so
If you
y'all
need
support.
yes, if you need catering, contact me. I'm here. I work with any budget. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just contact me or whatever. I love to support other people. Y'all go to my page. You can go to my personal page and my business page. Like I said, it's been a blessing. And like I had to come over here and tell my story because 2025, clean slate, it's only up from here. That's it. That's
And
it.
yes, it is. And CC, I do want to thank you for coming on tonight to share your story. I know it wasn't easy,
No.
given the situation, but I'm truly thankful that you was able to make it out of that situation because a lot of women be in situations like that, and sometimes they don't make it out. So,
No.
by God's grace, that He did allow you to get out of that situation. And I just want to, encourage a young lady, a young girl today, don't settle. And don't go back to someone that broke you. It's just like a piece of glass. Once you break that glass, you can never put the pieces back together again. So I don't care if you love him or what he doing for you or this and that. It's not worth it,
Right.
So I know, well, it's December, but October is the domestic violence awareness month. So we also want to let you know that it's okay to talk to someone. If you just having a hard time with getting out of that situation or that relationship or marriage, go talk to someone. Seek good counsel, and it's good to have supportive, positive friends that's gonna tell you even when you're wrong, because I don't want, you don't want somebody around you just agreeing with everything that you're doing, I mean, because when you're wrong, you're wrong. When you're out of pocket, you're out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? When you're out of alignment with God, then you're out of alignment with God. But you need somebody to be straightforward that can tell you the truth. Well, not that they judging you, but they just being honest with you because they love you. You got to be able to receive that. Not saying, oh, they judging me. No, I mean, let's be honest. God is not going to bless you with someone else's husband. So it's best to just, vet, make sure you ask those questions. And be patient and wait. You don't have to settle for somebody else, man or husband. You don't have to do that. But it's just like I said, she shared her story to open people's eyes, help you see those red flags. Don't ignore them. Take heed to them because there's always warning before destruction. There's always warning before destruction. So just want y'all to be blessed. I hope you guys have enjoyed tonight episode about red flags. Do not ignore them. For those who didn't get a chance to tune in tonight, I will air this tomorrow, which is on my Wednesday, my official night, Wind Down Wednesdays with Vitamin C. I thank you guys. I know I haven't been on lately, but this is I'm celebrating my second year of my podcast. So I might not be going on every Wednesday, but I'll make sure I do try to at least maybe twice a month, get on my podcast and invite guests. And if you would like to be a part of my show or like to be a guest, or if you have any anonymous questions that you may want to ask, just feel free to you can send me a message, inbox me, and I'll ask your questions on my show the next time that I come on. So but like I said, thanks for tuning in. And Cece, thank you once again.
You're welcome.
Not gonna hold you any longer, but
yeah,
just always remember that I can do all things through Christ.
Christ which strengthens me.
All right, I love you guys. Have a great rest of the week and have a good night. Signing out.
Love y'all. Bye.
All right, I love you too.